Hey guys, here's Dr. Giggy for PokerCollectif.com. That video is kind of a test video of like 20 minutes of me in English. Not because I like speaking English, but because someone asked me to make a video of me in English, wanted to hear me if I can speak well, so here it is. I'm just gonna put it on Video Poker Collectif and hope you guys enjoy it. So that's a, like I said, 20-minute session. Not gonna talk about big concept in the session because I don't have much time to do so. I'm just gonna play my hands and talk about them. Talk about the spot that I've got. The tables right now, it's 4 table of no limit 400. At tables, we've got a couple of regulars, like Eric Until, who's on table 1, 2, and 3. He's a good, like 22-18 regular. Good player for these limits. One of the best regular at the limit. And I've got a couple of nits as well on the table, like the Wet Bandit and Ascenta Lapela, who are like 19-16 guys. Pretty easy to play against them. I don't know why my ace didn't show up. I was playing with my ace, but it didn't show up in the video. And I'm playing this video back in the replayer because first time around I made some audio, but it just never stopped screwing up. So until I fix that problem, I'm just gonna put it back in the replayer and hope it works. So that's pretty much it. I risk king 5 on the button. Guy checks. I'm not gonna bet that flop for obvious reasons, I think. Because I don't want to get check raised by a draw. I might have to fold the best end. Anyway, I've got showdown value, and that's not good end for like 2 or 3 streets of value. If I've got value on this end, it's only 1 street. So betting the flop just makes me play a big pot, which is pretty useless. Here, if I remember correctly, I'm betting the turn because I want to make him pay a draw, and because anyway, nobody ever raises draws on the turn. That's just a fact. Nobody raised draw on the turn because they don't know how to raise draw on the turn. So they're just gonna play their turn hands pretty straightforward, and it makes it a lot easier to do. Here I raise queen 6 on the cutoff. Get re-raised by that Wet Bandit guy. I'm just gonna fold it. I said he's nit, but I have to admit that because of my image, almost anyone knows me at these limits. Because I've been playing there for like forever, and people know that I'm playing like a 33-30 or something like that style, so I'm gonna get repop and 3-bet and 4-bet a lot more than anyone else, but I can adjust to that. So even the nit guys are gonna 3-bet a lot more against me than against anybody else. Here, once again, I open my cutoff. I get re-raised on table number 4 by Vinny Cash. He's a net regular, playing like 18-16, but he plays me back a lot more than everyone else. I don't know why, but this time around, I've just let it go and give him these 14 bucks. But that's kind of spot I might 4-bet a lot pre-flop, depending on the flow of the game. But I have to 4-bet bluff sometimes in this spot. Our table, ace 6. Flop middle pair. I probably should have bet the flop. Kind of small mistake there, just to protect my end, get some value against draws, and just to see where I'm at. Like I decided to bet the turn, which is not a mistake, but checking would have been good as well. Get raised and nothing to do with this end. So I just fold it, if I remember well. You might hear some guys talking random stuff in French. Don't know if I've mentioned it, but we're like 6 in the room right now. So I've got no other spot to do videos. In the future, I'll work that out and find a better spot and fix my little audio issues as well. So I'm raising a couple of hands. Pair of 8, 6, 7 suited. I raised a lot of hands from the small blind. I don't know why. It's probably one of my leaks. I raise a little too much in from the small blind, but I do it, and that's it. Ace Jack here, pretty interesting spot on table number 4. that's kind of hand that I'm gonna 3-bet a lot, but since it's against Eric until, I don't want to 3-bet because I know this guy wants to 4-bet bluff a lot because he knows that I'm gonna be abusing his cutoff openings. So I'm from the button. I've just decided that I was gonna play some post-flop poker, call and see what happens. Here I flop middle pair with a backdoor nuts flush draw with the ace of heart, and he bets 24. So I decided to call. Will be pretty stupid to raise here with a lot on drawy board. And a good showdown value. Turns king, another king, and he fires again, if I remember well, something like 6-3. And I decided to fold in that spot. Because honestly, when he fires on another king, I don't think he thinks that I'm gonna fold something like ace-jack. And that's the end. I'm gonna have a lot here. Because he knows I'm gonna raise a lot of draws on this flop. He knows that I probably have something like 10-jack, ace-jack, maybe king-queen sometimes as well. And I don't think he thinks that I'm gonna fold a jack, and he fires nonetheless. So I think that's just a bad spot to take a stand and try to call down. Because if I call here and river breaks again, since he could be like he could be like 2-3 barreling draw type hands, I will have to call again. That would just be ugly, so I decided to just give up on turn, which is, I think, by far the best option. Like I said, I don't want to raise that flop. I think that's pretty common. Like, people don't raise flop with their middle pair with showdown value on drawy flops because he might 3-bet me with a lot of draws, and I will have to fold the best in, and I've got position, so I just want to keep the pot small until on the turn. Pocket 8 on table number 3. The guy opened from the cutoff. I decided that time to 3-bet, but that's kind of hand that I'm gonna cold call a lot from the blinds. Just cause, well, I've got a cold call sometime. I just can't 3-bet every end. I like to 3-bet him, but like I said, I just can't 3-bet every end, and small middle pockets are pretty easy to play post-flop when you just cold call. So that's what I'm doing. Here flop comes Jack 9-4 with 2 clubs. Pretty gay spot to c-bet. I don't think a c-bet is good here because it's got a lot of draws and he's gonna move a lot of draws on the flop. Plus I've got showdown values anyways. I get hand like pocket 7, 6, 5, something like that, 3s or 2s. I decided to call pre-flop, and he decided that after the flop, you might want to just see a showdown. Here the board gets really ugly and he bets the turn. I'm just gonna let it go. No need to get on such a tough spot. King Queen there on the other table, I flopped top pair, decided to bet it. I might have checked it as well because I don't want to get raised by a draw. But I decided to bet it that time around, and he just folded it, which makes life simple for me for now. Queen 4 on the button. I might have raised it sometimes, but with a guy with $150 in big blind and a good reeler on the small blind, I don't want to open too many marginal holdings from the button. Against like 2 nits full stack, I will open pretty much anything. Like even like 7 deuce suited or stuff like that. Anything from the button is worth playing against easy to play blinds. Easy to play against blinds. So table number 2 here, I 3-bet ace enough. Pretty much the last ace offsuit, and I'm 3-betting with from the blinds. But I just like to 3-bet it against. I think this guy was playing like 20, 18, something like that, and I'm just abusing their button opens. Because, like I said before, people at 2-4, people at 400 tend to suck in re-raise spot. And I've played a lot of re-raise spot, and I've played a lot of 400, and I think I guess very well how people play in these re-raise spot. So I can outplay them after, so I have no problem re-raising a lot, even from the blind out of position, and try to outplay them after with my marginal holdings and get more action with my best hands after. Here I decided to 3-bet Aragon tilt with King king queen from the button. Oh. And he folded that time around. If I remember well, table number 4, I reconciled raises again. I decided to 3-bet him again, because that's the thing. I think second time guy raise and you 3-bet him, he's gonna give you a lot of credit, because he knows I'm probably not doing this with shitty stuff, so I don't have I don't have any trouble 3-betting ace jack in that spot, because he 4-bets. I'm pretty much sure that he's strong. I don't think that he's gonna 4-bet a lot of trash just because it's the second time around and people tend to give a lot of credit. I might be wrong about that, but that's what I think from my experience. Table number 1, I flop king eye against under the gun opener. I squeeze from the blinds. I flop a top pair, top kicker. Decided to bet it, just get it in. I could have checked it and induced a bluff, trying to represent like jacks or tens, but a check might get him suspicious as well. He could think that I've got king queens set, something like that. So I just want to bet it. I prefer betting it on this kind of flop and hope does not believe me with something like ace queen, queen 10, queen jack, king jack, or stuff like that. He's gonna at least call one street with all of those ends, since I'm giving so much action. King queen on table 3, I turn top pair in a limp spot. I decided to bet it just for value. Probably have the best hand right now. I have good kicker. There are a lot of draws, so I decided that betting it for value would be a nice idea. If I recall correctly, I get a call from that puppy and a min raise from the plant. That min raise seemed weird to me at the moment, but I just thought that this guy would do it a lot with draws, because this board is very, very dry. Probably wants to have it. Wants to have a cheap river, but I can 3-pop him as well, because he might have a weird 10 as well. I never saw this guy play before. He might be good, but in this case I assume he's just bad. So I think he might have a 10 sometimes. So I decided just to keep it small, try to induce a bluff on the river. River comes like best card in the deck for me. So like I said, I put him on the draw a lot, maybe a 10 sometimes. I know he might bet his misdraws. If I lead the river, it just sucks because I'm not getting value from anything, because my end just is just too obvious that I have queen. Now he bets full pot. Just gonna try to get some value from an horribly played 10 or something like that. Hope doesn't have a queen as well, which is very possible as well. His range is, like I said, pretty large in this spot. And he finally folded, which means he probably had a draw. Could have, like I said, if it was a good guy, I probably would have re-popped on the turn, because I would have eliminated 10, because I think good player just bets 10 on that flop just to build a pot. But against an unknown, like I said, he might be slow playing and min raising the turn with 10 just because he likes slow playing. So I decided to just call and play a small pot. Here I'll limp back 9-4 suited. This thing I do a lot against 1 or 2 limpers, to limp back these type of hands. When there's no resistance after the flop, it's so easy to steal the pot. When everyone checks around, and since it's a limp pot, people tend not to fight against you. You just bet and people give you fold their bottom pair and fold their middle pair. And sometimes you do flop some good hands like that. I flop 2 pair and decide to just jam it, try to get it in, because stupid people like Wizard might stack off with like 9-10 or Jack 9 or Ace 9 or anything like that on these flop. So I'm just gonna bet the turn for value. On the other table, I 3-bet Jack Queen from the blind. I flop top pair, c-betting. On the turn I decide to check, try and induce a bluff, something like that from a draw. I'm sure not gonna fold that in with like his stack is a pot size bet, so folding is not an option there with my top pair. So I decided to make my line look as bluffy as possible and try to get a call from something like pair 9s, pair 10s, or jack, something like that. On the 9-4 table, I just got sucked out on the river, no big deal. I'm gonna make a lot of money in long run with these kind of hands because his Jack-10 was played so poorly. He was in a big pot on the river with top pair, no kicker, out of position. Don't do this at home, guys, because it's just a bad idea. Table with Jack-Queen, I decided just to shove my Jack-Queen for value, hope to get a call from 10 or Jacks. I thought about checking for a long time, but decided, because he might have King-Queen, something like that, but decided that betting for value was my best option. Here the Ace-King, I repop from the big blind. Flop comes 8-6-3, 6-3. I decided to c-bet. Sometimes you gotta check, especially against players that know me well, because they know that I like c-betting a lot in re-raise spot, and they might move a lot of hands, and that would put me in a stupid spot with Ace-King. Against some players I might have to bet and call the shove, but here I decided to bet. After his call, I put him probably, this guy is kind of unknown to me, and I assume he doesn't know me well. I put him on something like a middle pair here, pair of 8s or a pocket 5, 7s, something like that. And I decided that on my second barrel, he would have to give me credit for a big hand. Since he doesn't know me, he doesn't know that I love to two-barrel that much in re-raise pot, because that's the kind of thing that I do a lot. And I sized my bet, so I don't have to call a shove anyway. But he just, in my belief, that turn bet didn't cost me too much for the number of times he's gonna fold his middle pair, giving me credit for the second barrel. People just give you credit a lot more than you think in re-raise pot on your second barrel. That's a good play to add up to your arsenal if you don't have it. King Jack suited, big blind, cheap flop, I take it, and check fold because flop just sucks. I raise stands on table number 4. And 7 from the cutoff. That's in my opening range. I open a lot of hands. Playing loose, aggressive style. I get one call from the blinds with my pocket aces. Decided that I would just try to take him to value town with some bit bigger bets than normal. I want to size my continuations bet. I like more size towards $21 or $22. But if I want to take a random guy like this who's not a regular to value town, I'm just gonna make it closer to the pot. So I just build a bigger pot, and when he doesn't fold his king queen or king jack or something like that, it just costs him a lot more, and I can just get his whole stack. So that's pretty much it for the session. I was closing my tables at the moment. I don't think I've played any hand after that. I hope this was nice and I made it very clear. I'm not too comfortable with discussing my hands after having played them. That's the first time I'm trying that. Making them play in a replayer. Next time probably just comment real time with my hands. I think I'm much better with that format, but just the audio just kept screwing up when I was doing the two at the same time, so I decided to put them in a replayer, and I hope it's good, and I hope you guys understand my English and stuff. So that's pretty much it. That was Dr. Giggy for videopokercollectif.com. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you next time. And